Question 1. What is the primary safety rule when handling any firearm? A. Keep the safety engaged at all times. B. Know how to disassemble the firearm. C. Always assume the firearm is loaded. D. Store ammunition separately from the firearm. Answer: C. Always assume the firearm is loaded. Explanation: the most fundamental safety rule is to treat every firearm as if it were loaded, even if you believe it is unloaded. This mindset prevents complacency and ensures you follow other safety rules, such as controlling the muzzle direction and keeping your finger off the trigger. Acting as if a firearm is always ready to fire is the first step in preventing accidents. Make it a habit to treat every firearm with this level of caution. Question 2. When handing a firearm to another person, you should first: A. Ensure the magazine is inserted. B. Visually and physically check that the firearm is unloaded. C. Keep your finger on the trigger guard. D. Point the muzzle towards the ground. Answer: B. Visually and physically check that the firearm is unloaded. Explanation: before passing a firearm to someone else, it is crucial to verify its condition by performing a visual and physical inspection to ensure it is unloaded. This involves removing the magazine, if applicable, cycling the action to check the chamber, and confirming no ammunition is present. Passing an unloaded firearm ensures that the recipient receives it in a safe condition, emphasizing shared responsibility for safety. Always double-check a firearm is clear before handing it off or receiving it. Question 3. Keeping your finger outside the trigger guard until your sights are on the target and you are ready to shoot is known as: A. Muzzle control. B. Safe storage. C. Trigger discipline. D. Sight alignment. Answer: C. Trigger discipline. Explanation: trigger discipline refers to the practice of keeping your finger off the trigger and outside the trigger guard until you have made the conscious decision to shoot and your sights are aligned on the intended target. This prevents accidental discharges that can occur from startled reactions or fumbling. Maintaining proper trigger discipline is a critical habit that prevents unintended firing. Always keep your finger straight and off the trigger until you are on target. Question 4. If you are handed a firearm by someone else, what should you do immediately? A. Point it in a safe direction and verify that it is unloaded. B. Test the trigger pull. C. Ask if it is loaded. D. Engage the safety mechanism. Answer: A. Point it in a safe direction and verify that it is unloaded. Explanation: even if someone tells you a firearm is unloaded, you must treat it as potentially loaded until you have personally verified its condition. The immediate actions upon receiving a firearm are to control where the muzzle is pointing, a safe direction, and then perform a visual and physical check to confirm it contains no ammunition. Taking these steps ensures your safety and confirms the firearm's status yourself. Make it a rule to always check the firearm yourself when you receive it. Question 5. Which action best demonstrates muzzle control? A. Keeping your finger off the trigger. B. Pointing the firearm in a safe direction. C. Checking the chamber is empty. D. Engaging the safety mechanism. Answer: B. Pointing the firearm in a safe direction. Explanation: muzzle control is the practice of constantly being aware of where the firearm's muzzle is directed and ensuring it is pointed in a safe direction where an accidental discharge would cause no injury and minimal damage. This is one of the most critical safety habits because a bullet cannot hit anything if the muzzle isn't pointed at it. Developing constant awareness of your muzzle's direction is key to preventing accidents. Always know where your muzzle is pointing. Question 6. What is the safest way to store a firearm at home in California? A. Loaded and easily accessible in a bedside drawer. B. Unloaded, locked storage container, separate from ammunition. C. Unloaded, hidden somewhere discreet like a closet shelf. D. Loaded, with the safety engaged, out of reach of children. Answer, B. Unloaded, locked storage container, separate from ammunition. Explanation. California law requires that firearms be stored in a manner that prevents unauthorized persons, especially minors, from accessing them. The safest method is storing the firearm unloaded in a locked container or secured with a locking device, with ammunition stored separately and also secured. This prevents tragic accidents involving children or others who should not have access to the firearm. Secure storage protects both your family and your community. Question 7. If you drop a firearm, what should you do? A. Quickly grab it before it hits the ground. B. Carefully retrieve it, keeping the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. C. Leave it there and call a qualified gunsmith. D. Pick it up any way possible, then check if it fired. Answer, B. Carefully retrieve it, keeping the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Explanation. If a firearm is dropped, it's important to approach the situation cautiously and prioritize safety. Do not try to catch a falling firearm, let it drop. Once it has stopped moving, carefully retrieve it, making sure the muzzle is pointed in a safe direction away from yourself and others. After retrieving it, inspect it for damage and check its condition, but always maintain muzzle control during the process. Handling a dropped firearm safely minimizes the risk of an accidental discharge. Question 8. Before cleaning a firearm, you should first: A. Gather your cleaning supplies. B. Ensure the firearm is unloaded and magazine removed. C. Read the owner's manual for cleaning instructions. D. Clear a workspace on a table. Answer, B. Ensure the firearm is unloaded and magazine removed. Explanation. The absolute first step before disassembling or cleaning any firearm is to visually and physically verify that it is completely unloaded and any magazine has been removed. Cleaning involves handling the firearm extensively, and ensuring it is unloaded eliminates the possibility of an accidental discharge during the process. This critical safety check prevents accidents while you are focused on maintenance. Always confirm the firearm is clear before you begin any work on it. Question 9. Which of the following is not one of the basic firearm safety rules? A. Keep your finger off the trigger until ready to shoot. B. Treat every firearm as if it were unloaded. C. Be sure of your target and what is beyond it. D. Always point the muzzle in a safe direction. Answer, B. Treat every firearm as if it were unloaded. Explanation. One of the core, fundamental firearm safety rules is to always treat every firearm as if it were loaded, not unloaded. Assuming a firearm is unloaded is a dangerous mindset that can lead to neglecting other safety precautions. The basic rules emphasize a proactive, cautious approach where every firearm is handled with the respect and caution due to a loaded weapon. Remember, assuming it's always loaded helps keep you safe. Question 10. When you are at a shooting range, a safe direction to point your firearm typically refers to: A. Towards the ceiling. B. Downrange towards the target area or backstop. C. Towards the ground immediately in front of you. D. Anywhere within the designated firing line area. Answer, B. Downrange towards the target area or backstop. Explanation. At a designated shooting range, the safe direction for pointing a firearm's muzzle is downrange, towards the established targets and the protective backstop designed to stop bullets. Pointing anywhere else, such as horizontally along the firing line or upwards, is unsafe and violates range rules. The range backstop serves as the intended barrier for all fired rounds. Always ensure your muzzle is pointing towards the designated impact area when handling firearms at a range. Question 11. Why is it important to be sure of your target and what is beyond it? A. To ensure you hit what you are aiming at. B. To avoid damaging property behind the target. C. To prevent accidentally hitting unintended people or objects. D. All of the above. Answer, D. All of the above. Explanation: the safety rule, be sure of your target and what is beyond it, encompasses several important considerations. It's not just about hitting your intended target, A, but also about preventing harm to anything or anyone behind it, C, which includes avoiding property damage, B. Bullets can travel through targets and walls, so knowing what's behind your target is critical for preventing unintended consequences. Always identify your target positively and confirm there is a safe backstop. Question 12. Which of the following scenarios is an example of poor trigger discipline? A. Keeping your finger straight along the frame while moving. B. Placing your finger on the trigger as you acquire the target in your sights. C. Keeping your finger off the trigger until you are ready to fire. D. Removing your finger from the trigger immediately after firing. Answer: B. Placing your finger on the trigger as you acquire the target in your sights. Explanation: poor trigger discipline is demonstrated by placing your finger on the trigger before you are actually ready to shoot, such as while simply aiming or acquiring the target. Your finger should remain outside the trigger guard until your sights are aligned on the target and you have made the conscious decision to fire. This distinction prevents accidental discharges due to movement, surprise, or loss of balance. Proper trigger discipline is essential for safe handling. Question 13. If you encounter a firearm in an unsupervised location, what should you do? A. Pick it up and carry it to a safe place. B. Leave it alone and immediately notify an adult or law enforcement. C. Check if it is loaded. D. Hide it so no one else finds it. Answer: B. Leave it alone and immediately notify an adult or law enforcement. Explanation: if you find a firearm in an unsupervised location, the safest action is to leave it exactly where it is and immediately inform a trusted adult or call law enforcement. Handling it yourself could put you at risk if it is loaded or if you are unfamiliar with its operation. Responsible action is to ensure authorities are notified so they can secure it safely. Never touch or move a firearm you find unexpectedly. Question 14. Which step should you take before attempting to clear or unload a firearm? A. Engage the safety. B. Point the muzzle in a safe direction. C. Check the bore for obstructions. D. Practice your grip. Answer: B. Point the muzzle in a safe direction. Explanation: before you begin any manipulation of a firearm, including attempting to clear or unload it, the absolute first step after confirming it is not pointed at yourself or others is to direct the muzzle towards a safe direction. This ensures that if there were an accidental discharge during the clearing process, the bullet would impact safely. Maintaining muzzle control is paramount during all handling procedures. Always point the firearm safely before you start clearing it. Question 15. According to California law, how must a firearm be transferred between individuals who are not licensed dealers? A. Hand-to-hand exchange is permissible if both parties have FSCs. B. The transfer must be conducted through a licensed California firearm dealer. C. Transfers are only allowed between immediate family members without a dealer. D. A simple notarized bill of sale is sufficient. Answer: B. The transfer must be conducted through a licensed California firearm dealer. Explanation: in California, with very limited exceptions, primarily involving immediate family members, but even those have restrictions and procedures, all firearm transfers between individuals must be facilitated through a licensed California firearm dealer, FFL. This dealer handles the background check process required by state and federal law. Using an FFL for transfers ensures compliance with legal requirements and promotes responsible firearm ownership. Private party transfers through dealers are mandatory for most transactions. Question 16. If a firearm is equipped with a safety mechanism, it means: A. It is impossible for the firearm to fire accidentally. B. The safety is a mechanical device that can fail and should not be solely relied upon. C. You do not need to follow other safety rules. D. The firearm is always safe to handle with the safety engaged. Answer: B. The safety is a mechanical device that can fail and should not be solely relied upon. Explanation: a safety mechanism on a firearm is a mechanical device designed to help prevent accidental firing, but it is not a substitute for following fundamental safety rules and can malfunction. Relying solely on the safety ignores the human element in safe handling and the possibility of mechanical failure. Always treat the firearm as if it could fire, even with the safety on, by following all other safety rules like muzzle control and trigger discipline. Safeties are aids, not guarantees of safety. Question 17. When practicing dry firing, practicing trigger pull without live ammunition, you should: A. Insert an empty magazine for realistic feel. B. Ensure the firearm is completely unloaded and there is no live ammunition in the practice area. C. Point the firearm in any direction since there is no ammunition. D. Dry firing is not recommended. Answer: B. Ensure the firearm is completely unloaded and there is no live ammunition in the practice area. Explanation: dry firing is a useful training technique, but it must be done with the utmost safety. You must absolutely confirm that the firearm is completely unloaded and that no live ammunition is present in the room or practice area to eliminate the risk of accidentally using a live round. Treating the firearm as loaded and maintaining safe muzzle direction during dry firing is still essential. Confirming no live ammunition is key to safe dry fire practice. Question 18. Why is it important to use the correct type and caliber of ammunition for your firearm? A. Using incorrect ammunition can damage the firearm. B. Using incorrect ammunition can cause injury to the shooter or bystanders. C. Using incorrect ammunition can result in the firearm not functioning properly. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. Explanation: using the wrong type or caliber of ammunition in a firearm is extremely dangerous and can have severe consequences. It can damage the firearm, potentially causing it to explode or break, A. Leading to serious injury to anyone nearby, B. Incorrect ammunition also prevents the firearm from functioning as intended, C. Always check the markings on your firearm and ammunition to ensure they are an exact match. Using the correct ammunition is vital for safety and proper function. Question 19. In California, to purchase a handgun, you must generally be at least: A. 18 years old. B. 21 years old. C. 25 years old. D. 30 years old. Answer: B. 21 years old. Explanation: under California law, you must generally be at least 21 years old to purchase a handgun from a licensed firearm dealer. There are limited exceptions for specific circumstances, like law enforcement, but for the general public, the minimum age for handgun purchases is 21. This age requirement is a state regulation impacting firearm eligibility. Knowing the minimum age for purchase is part of understanding California's firearm laws. Question 20. Before storing a firearm, you should always: A. Load it to be ready for immediate use. B. Place it somewhere easily accessible. C. Ensure it is unloaded. D. Attach a trigger lock without checking its condition. Answer: C. Ensure it is unloaded. Explanation: before placing a firearm in storage, whether in a locked container, safe, or using a locking device, you must always verify that it is completely unloaded. Storing loaded firearms increases the risk of accidental access and discharge, especially in a home environment. Making sure the firearm is clear before securing it is a critical step in preventing accidents. Always confirm your firearm is empty before putting it away. Question 21. What is the primary purpose of a Firearm Safety Certificate, FSC, in California? A. To demonstrate proficiency in marksmanship. B. To allow individuals to carry concealed firearms. C. To ensure purchasers or recipients of firearms have a basic knowledge of firearm safety laws and principles. D. To register all firearms owned by an individual. Answer: C. To ensure purchasers or recipients of firearms have a basic knowledge of firearm safety laws and principles. Explanation: The Firearm Safety Certificate, FSC, program in California is designed to ensure that individuals who wish to purchase or acquire a firearm have a foundational understanding of safe firearm handling, storage, and relevant laws. It requires passing a written test covering these topics. The FSC is a prerequisite for most firearm acquisitions and focuses on education for responsible ownership. Obtaining your FSC demonstrates you've learned the basics of firearm safety. Question 22. Carrying a firearm with a round in the chamber, ready to fire with minimal action, is often referred to as A. Condition 3. B. Condition 2. C. Condition 1. D. Condition 4. Answer: C. Condition 1. Explanation: Firearm readiness conditions are a way to describe the state of a firearm regarding its ability to fire. Condition 1 typically refers to a firearm with a loaded magazine inserted, a round chambered, and the safety engaged. This means the firearm can be fired very quickly once the safety is disengaged. Understanding these conditions is important for safe handling and knowing the immediate readiness of a firearm. Always be aware of the condition of any firearm you handle. Question 23. A firearm's action refers to A. The mechanism that loads, fires, and ejects cartridges. B. The stock or grip of the firearm. C. The barrel where the bullet travels. D. The safety lever or button. Answer: A. The mechanism that loads, fires, and ejects cartridges. Explanation: The action of a firearm is the internal mechanism responsible for cycling rounds, taking a cartridge from the magazine, loading it into the chamber, firing it, and ejecting the spent casing. Different firearms have different types of actions, like semi-automatic, bolt action, pump action. Understanding the action is key to safely loading, unloading, and clearing the firearm. The action is the heart of how a firearm operates. Question 24. If you hear "cease fire" commands at a shooting range, you must immediately A. Keep shooting to empty your magazine. B. Safely unload your firearm, remove the magazine, and place the firearm on the bench with the action open. C. Point your firearm upwards. D. Leave your firearm loaded on the bench and step behind the firing line. Answer: B. Safely unload your firearm, remove the magazine, and place the firearm on the bench with the action open. Explanation: Cease fire command is an urgent instruction to stop all shooting activities immediately. When you hear this, you must cease firing, safely unload your firearm, remove any magazine, and place the firearm down on the bench pointed downrange with the action open to show it is clear. Following this command precisely ensures safety for everyone on the range, especially before anyone goes downrange. Always obey range commands instantly and fully. Question 25. Keeping the muzzle pointed in a safe direction, keeping your finger off the trigger until ready to shoot, treating every firearm as loaded, and being sure of your target and beyond are collectively known as A. Advanced shooting techniques. B. The 4 fundamental rules of firearm safety. C. Firearm maintenance steps. D. California hunting regulations. Answer: B. The 4 fundamental rules of firearm safety. Explanation: These 4 principles are universally recognized as the most important rules for safe firearm handling and are the foundation of all firearm safety training. They provide a simple yet comprehensive framework for preventing firearm accidents. Adhering to these 4 rules is essential for anyone handling firearms, regardless of experience level. Memorizing and consistently applying these 4 rules is the best way to ensure safety.